Hello viewers and subscribers, welcome to your favorite teacher's channel. Today's video is an interactive one and is on classroom discipline. With me in the house is a long-standing teacher who have been in the teaching profession over a decade. His name is Idi Isong. Idi Isong, you're welcome to my classroom.
Thank you very much, Glory. Thank you so much. Hello, viewers. Welcome to the show.
All right. A lot of people are of the opinion that the Western education should be adopted and the African system of education should be abolished. While they preferred the Western education is that there is little or no discipline in the Western education. So what's your take on that?
Uh, First of all, let's not even talk about what is classroom discipline. Okay, classroom discipline is refers to set of rules or measures adopted to put the child in the right order, to make the child learn, how to behave, how to, morals, the good, the right things that the child needs to do or not do for the sake of the child's future. When we talk about whether it's a Western education because they don't flog, or it's the African system where they flog so much, because most of us grew up in an environment where we have to be flogged heavily, heavily, more for most crimes we committed. The main thing we need to understand about discipline is that it has an objective, and the objective is to mold this child to have or develop these valuable character traits, okay, which requires that you have to use some level of, efforts to make the child understand the value of those things. So whether we are choosing to go for the Western or we are choosing to go for the African, the number one thing that should be in our mind is that, is this form of discipline training this child to have these characters or these behaviors or this mindset or not? If it's not, then we need to change the system.
Okay, so talking about forms of discipline, could you please enlighten us on the forms of discipline we have?
Okay, well, like we all know, in Africa, the first one we're used to is flogging. We grew up under an environment where we have to be flogged for almost every crime, even the crime you don't commit, you will be flogged for it.
Exactly.
But I think there are other forms of discipline, that we should adopt. Number one, speaking to the child. Speaking to the child is another very effective way of, this. You have a conversation with this child. Let this child see the need for, them to not do what they are doing or what they used to do, and you communicate, get to know their viewpoints. All right, get to know, you bring yourself to a level that the child understand what you're doing, and they are not thinking that it's a way of trying to kill them. Because for most of us, when we hear discipline, is like, oh yeah, they will kill me today.
Exactly.
But that's one. Secondly, we can also use the silent method. You go silent on a child. None of us, even as adults, we don't like people going silent on us or people turning their backs, not talking to us again and all of that. So it's tool that parents or teachers can also use. You ignore the child.
Okay.
Once you ignore the child will begin to think, oh, okay, this thing is not good. Then the third one is denying the child some kind of privileges or benefits, mostly for parents to, don't, if a child likes TV, mostly the activities the child like, just deny them the access. Okay, you're not going to play the computer today. You're not going to play that game today. You're not going to go out today. When we go out to the fast food or the eatery, you will not join us today, and all of that. And the child will begin to like, they don't want to be left behind. So those are forms that we can also adopt.
Wow, thank you very much. So, what would you say about this trending video on social platforms where the teacher was caught on the CCTV camera and apprehended for continuously hitting the learner's head because the learner failed to comprehend the lesson? What do you have to say about that?
Well, when I saw the video on social media, I was very disturbed. One, let's consider the age of this child, 3 years old, just a very little girl. Being subjected to that level of punishment was uncalled for. So for me personally, I don't support that method. But I also think that the teacher does not know that there are other measures that can be adopted to, make the child learn. The one thing I think Africans should also learn, mostly those of us, whether it's in the Western area or it's our own area, the the idea of discipline is to help this child, not to kill the child. Okay, so if you're disciplining a child, do it in love. let it be an object, something you do because of love, not because you want the child to, you want, no, let there be some element of love in your form of discipline, so that it doesn't make the child feel that you hate them so much and then you lose them. So that video, I think the government is doing things about it, and so to stop that further occurrence in other schools, from those things from occurring. But that particular event that teacher did was absolutely wrong. That's not the way to discipline a child of that age and of that
Okay.
pattern. Thank you.
So what you are trying to say is that the teacher should have a right motive while disciplining the child.
Yes.
Thank you very much for featuring in this week video. We appreciate